Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. I'm here with Christina, Juliane, and Clio, and this is Balcony Banter. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, just a minute. You're not muted. You're all muted. You're not unmuted now.
Now? Hello?
Now.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Hello.
So, thank you, everybody who's joining tonight. We've got 81 people watching. We do have a little bit of red wine here, and there's a story behind it, so that's what I know. I know that everybody was probably watching on Monday when I tried to get into my lederhosen again, which I didn't actually try because I knew I'd fail miserably. But I've realized that I've not been taking it too seriously, and I should take it more seriously. I thought I had a lot of time, but I went to the doctors and they said you got to really start now to get that many inches off your waist by Christmas. So I looked at the shandy that I was drinking and the alcohol-free, and the shandy had twice as many calories as the alcohol-free beer, probably because of the sugar in the lemonade, right? So even though it was less alcohol, it was more sugar. So then what I did is I got a bottle of wine, and I had to look how many calories there are in a bottle of wine. And lo and behold, there's none. I can't find the calorie count anywhere, per 100 milliliters or per 100 grams per serving. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I just assume now that wine is calorie free.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers. Salud. Salud means health. Okay, so ladles and jelly spoons, have a look at the comments. Let's have a quick look here. See who's been online. Oh, we got loads of comments up here. Lynn Rowlands, hi Tim. Gordon, hi Tim. Christina, hi everybody. Reads from Leeds, Gordon Squire. Hi Lynn, Gordon. Distraction UK, evening all. Yes, everyone's heard about the extended travel ban till March. On a positive note, thumbs up for Tim. Thank you very much. Yeah, we will talk about that. Ian's online. Thank you very much. I got your email, Ian, but I know it's just for me. Lynn Rowlands, he doesn't want me sharing the stuff. Had a jab yesterday. Gordon, nurse indicated convinced shielding will extend again. What's shielding?
When a person has to stay at home.
I stay at home, okay. Waiting Matt Hancock email letter to confirm. Matt Hancock.
Direct in contact with Matt Hancock.
Sounds like an old comedian.
He's not that old, unfortunately, or experienced, but there's my political colour shining through.
We've been eating nuts again. I've got one stuck in the back of my throat again.
Drink some non-caloric
every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, get this. Lynn said, hi, Lynn. Craig Andrews online. Okay, wait. Everything, hello. Getting level 1 symptoms from the jab, Lynn. Oh, dear. Graham's online. Hi, Graham. He ladles and jelly spoons. Gordon's got, hi, Graham. Lynn, nice. Okay, pin cushion. Andrew, oh boy, he's got a long one here. Hi, Tim and Christina, Juliane, and all the other guests. It's Clio. Stars.
I am the other guest.
Hope you're all well from a cold Birmingham.
Birmingham.
AJ's online. Evening, everyone. Peter Blake. Helen reads from Leeds. Gordon Squire. Gordon reads. AJ John. Evening, everybody. Okay, I think I'm getting everybody. Somebody saying A up and doesn't seem right. Seeing you, Gordon, without a blue spanner. Okay. Vincent Flanagan, just watched the sunset in Benidorm, and now we get to see another one in Balcony Banter. Are you actually in Benidorm, Vincent? If you are, then here is the actual sunset. I'm nicking their camera here. Let's take that out. Let's put that in here. And you're looking at my
balcony.
Oh, here we go.
Bunting.
The sun is way too bright for this camera. Look at that. You can't see a bloody thing.
Ow.
If I get that down there you go. Well, that doesn't really help you, does it? But there's nothing there. Past El Hierro, there's nothing till Florida, so that's cool.
It was beautiful today, and the sea was glorious.
Oh, it was beautiful.
The sea was absolutely beautiful.
You went swimming again?
I was swimming today, yeah.
Oh.
I was. It is my
routine.
My joie de vivre. My eau de vivre.
Yeah.
Water of life.
Yeah.
Keeps me alive. It really does.
Eau de vie. I've got body eau de vie.
Yeah, which is why we sit very far apart.
Oh, the toilet.
I realised that if you don't shower for 3 weeks, people just stay 2 meters away from you automatically.
It's
There you go.
perfect.
It's
Tell
cool,
Matt
isn't
Hancock.
I will.
Send him an email.
Wasn't he an old comedian? Isn't it? Hancock's Half Hour or something?
Yeah, I don't think Matt was in it.
Andrew Horseman, thank you very, very much. He says, hi, Tim, Christina, Juliane, and Clio.
Ta-da! Thank you,
There
Andrew.
you go. There you go.
I'm name checked. I've been name checked.
You are name checked. Everyone just got back from walking the dog. It's freezing outside. Oh, hi, everyone. I thought everyone had just got back from walking the dog. Alan says, large 250 milliliter glass of 13% red wine contained as many as 228 calories. A 250 milliliter glass.
Luckily, your glass is small, Tim.
My
You're
glass
fine.
is really
You're fine.
tiny. It's really tiny. Yeah.
In fact, the amount of calories you burn lifting that glass off the table,
It sort of compensates.
It probably
It's compensates.
cancels itself out.
It
I
does
think.
cancel itself out. You're right. You're right.
Mm.
Cleo's got her earphones, so she can't hear the laughter now.
Are you laughing at me?
And if we get a guest today, she won't be able to hear them, but I shall translate. Hi, everyone. Just about, that's the walking the dog bit. There we go. Bubble burst, 625 calories in an average bottle of red wine. Okay.
Again, they're calling our wine average.
Yeah. Ours is a way below average wine for €1.63.
You pushed the boat out.
I
Tim.
did. It's 2.80 in down at the bottom here.
Yeah.
It's actually €2.80 for this bottle of wine. Oh, I won't show you.
Yeah.
It's called Los Molinos, which is the mills, right?
Yeah.
The dark satanic mills, probably. Let me take these off because they're useless. It's it's 280 in the Hepadino down the bottom. The one in the Rosa Centre is a Superdino, and they've got it for 210. And the one on the other side of the motorway,
In
which,
El
in
Galeon.
El Galeon, which is a hyper super duper Dino, I think it is. Yeah. Then it's 162 or 163.
Yeah. The bigger the supermarket, the lower the prices. I think.
And the further away from the coast, I think.
Yeah. So if you drive to Las Palmas, you probably save yourself the ferry fare.
You would actually. Yes, it would. But you'd have
And
to,
the calories.
yeah, but you'd have to drink 2 bottles while you're there because you can only bring so
So you
many back.
probably better walk to Las Palmas so that you burn off the calories that you might not drink in the wine.
Okay, Tina, good evening. Simon's here. Hi, Simon. You know, nice to see Lee teaser for. Yeah, I saw that Lee did a teaser for his new series. It looks like he was in the TARDIS.
Ooh.
The TARDIS. Donna evening. Tim's harem.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't. The only belly dancer here is Tim.
That's me, yeah, and I'm big. I'm big, man. I'm actually cutting. I do a walk, half an hour walk in the morning for February, and I'm going to do a longer walk for March, longer for April, and then as I get towards Christmas, I'll be walking longer and longer. So
We're gonna prep.
by
you.
November, I'll be in Los Gigantes probably.
Or you'd be in Las Palmas buying
Oh,
that
Las
wine.
Palmas, yeah. No, I'll just go around the island like an ant.
I did a really nice walk yesterday, actually. I drove to Playa San Juan and walked along the coast nearly as far as Alcalá.
Really?
So that was a good
Yeah.
walk.
That's a nice
That was
Mhm.
like 40 minutes. So that
Okay.
was good, which
Okay.
for me is miraculous considering what I've been through. So I couldn't walk 10
Well,
meters a year ago.
I used to walk quite often because I would walk with a bag of magic and a monkey on my hand and go around all the bars in Torviscus and Fania Bay and all around there, Las Americas. And basically, what happened was March was done, was finished. So I stopped walking and I put on 5 kilos. I'm not kidding. Well,
Easily.
no, I am because I'm only 114 and I was never under 100. So I put on 3 kilos, I would say. And I've got to get rid of it. I'm 114 now. So anyway, that's Monday's theme. Today's theme on Balcony Banter, everybody was surprised that I picked this and it's me that picked it. And it was basically how to be a nice immigrant. And everybody's got their own idea of what that was. And then they asked me when I came in, what did you mean? You know? So I'll tell you what I mean. And other people have prepared other things or we'll talk on other things. But I think what I wanted to do was keep it positive. And to say, if I want to emigrate from my country to another country, then I am an immigrant in the other country. So therefore, what do I need to do there to be a nice immigrant? And then you can also think about if you're living in the country that you were born in, which is most of you, I suppose. What would you want from somebody coming to your country as an immigrant to be a nice immigrant? And then try and
Put yourself in their position.
Yeah, put yourself in their position and do it like that. Because I have a feeling that there are some mindsets that are basically at opposed to each other in one brain. You know, we don't want them coming over here, but when I go over there, I want this, that, and the other. You see, or I don't want to integrate, or I don't want to do this,
or I don't think about integrating because I don't think it's important.
They don't think it's important, yeah. But I don't think they don't think it's important because it's they don't like it.
No, they just haven't thought about it.
They haven't thought about it. Yeah. So what we want to do is keep it really, really positive. So we don't want any negative comments if
or racism
or anything like that. Anything that is against YouTube's.
Then don't give any ideas.
Okay, then I won't give any ideas. Yeah. So what we want is some nice interaction with you guys. If you want to join us, of course, you can always go to timothydowd.com/live. Can you? Yes, you can. I think I did it. Did I? I can't. I don't remember now. Yes, I did it yesterday. So you press the button and you'll come in on the backstage. And if I like the look of you, then I'll let you on. The only thing that I ask, though, is you put your real name down the bottom here, because if it's camera one or back camera or anything like that, I won't let you on. But I need to know what to call you. So just your first name's fine. Like Tarquin Flimbin Fatangole Biscuit Barrel or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right, yeah. So also you can go to timothydowd.com at any time and see all the old backlogs there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a page for Balcony Banter with all the connections, because I just got a message from Graham, I think it was. Let me just see if I can find it. Graham. Tim, I took your advice and subscribed to Juliane. Tried to find Clio and Janet, but I haven't found them yet. Can you post a link, please? Well, basically, there is a link. It's Anchor FM Clio, right?
Yeah, it's Anchor FM Canary Cast.
Canary Cast. And it's in the description of this. Is it? Yes, it's in the description of this video.
Okay.
So if you have a look at the description, there's a link there.
The other thing, if I can, on Facebook, there's a page called Focus Adeje.
Focus Adeje.
Which is the page where I and Janet and myself and Janet and Cheryl are the moderators. And what we post is information about living in, contributing to and integrating into life in our borough of Adeje. So
which is basically the thing that we're talking about today.
Yeah, so it's quite relevant. Adeje Focus or Focus Adeje, either one will get you to the page.
Cool, dude. Okay. And of course, Juliane has her own website, julianenendel.com, and also on YouTube. Christina has her own website. It's called Belly Dancers Anonymous.
How do you put up with him, Chris?
Wheelchair belly dance.
Wheelchair belly dance.
I love it.
You need to emote you both. Well, Una Means says...
Oh, hi, Una.
Good. Did I say Means right?
I'd say it's Mines.
Mines, okay. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are well. Love from Dublin.
I saw. That's why I said, how are you? How are you, Una? How's it going?
How's it going?
No, don't do the accent, Tim.
Don't do the accent. Evening all from a very cold west of Ireland. Didn't spot Gordon or Tree without their spanners. Oh, right, yeah. I think Gordon and Tree Surgeon are now what they called moderators for Lee and Daniel.
Okay.
And so I don't have moderators. Well, I do have. I got one moderator on this channel. It's my daughter. And the reason I do that is because I know when she's on, because it comes up as with a spanner, you see. And I can't miss it.
Have you said hello to your grandchild, by the way?
We haven't yet, because she's not on yet, because she would
just checking, because you forget.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Well, that's the reason I did it, because what happened was we ended up what's he called in saying, yeah, you come on, and then I missed it, and I even missed the donation from my son-in-law for a pint, but so he's never going to do that again, is he?
So you're going to see her later.
Graham says, I want to emigrate to Tenerife in 5 or so years. My plan is to learn the language and mix as much as possible with the locals, using my hobbies like cycling to integrate with more.
Okay, I love the first part of that. I have written down the language is so important. So important. I moved here when I was 39 and I didn't have a word of Spanish.
And it only took you 50 years to learn.
That's it.
Cool, dude.
But I mean, because I couldn't, in all honesty, not make an effort to learn the language. I now work for the local council, so I obviously do speak some Spanish. And I just think that is like ridiculously important. It's not just about speaking to people, it's about language opens up so many doors.
Yeah.
Well, when I learned German, I realized that if you think of it, Darren has arrived. Darren, I see you and you can hear us, but we can't hear you yet. I'll bring you on in a couple of seconds. Just be patient and enjoy the show. You're actually seeing it 30 seconds before everybody else, so that's good. So Darren's going to join us in a minute. But yeah, so when I learned German, I was amazed that learning a language rewires your brain
Totally.
to think in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. And my mum and dad tried to learn a language and they said, oh, we can't do it. We can't do it. My mum tried really hard, went to night classes and everything in England, or in Wales she was actually. And she tried to learn German so she could talk to her granddaughter, which is our daughter, obviously. And of course we taught her English anyway, but we said talk German to your granny, you know. And but she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. And I said, what was the biggest problem of learning the language? And she said, it wasn't relevant to what I was doing.
Yeah.
So she was learning things like, hello, I'm at the gas station and I'm filling up, or I'm doing this or I'm doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing. There was nothing relevant to her life. And I said, well, what is your life? And she says, I want to do things. And then I found, well, that was one thing. And then I found this Spanish teacher online that you can do really remote called Spanish with Paul. And he starts off with I want, I will. And then I met Juliane and she also does that, but in real life. So she can actually do a Spanish course with you online. So you could book an hour a week or two hours.
With one of our spectators.
You do with that, yeah? One of our friends, we call friends. The Balconistas.
Balconistas.
The Balconistas, yeah. Oh, she does it ASMR as well.
Sometimes.
Okay, I've got to put you big for that. So you're right in the middle there. You got to do a little bit of ASMR before I bring Darren on. You're getting excited, Darren. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to add you to the stream, Darren, which means that you will be seen and heard. And let me just make sure I can see you. So Darren's in the bottom right corner. Can you give me a sound check, please?
Hello, hello.
I have no headphones on. So.
Hello, that's perfect. I got to bring you down slightly. You don't have any earphones in, so we're hearing ourselves through your speakers a little bit, but that's not a problem.
Okay.
I'll just turn our ding down so you just kind of. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay, so Darren, I'm going to put you big if that's all right in the corner.
Oh.
There you go. Hi, Darren. How are you?
How are you?
It says Darren John, and where are you from?
London Docklands.
The London Docklands.
Yeah.
Is that near the Isle of Dogs?
It is, as named by Henry VIII.
As named by Henry VIII. Wow. I went to one of the television studios there when I was a young man to do one of the Saturday morning shows, like Swap. It wasn't Swap Shop, but it was like that. So that's the only time I've been there. But it was a nice place then. What's it like now?
Noel Edmonds.
It wasn't Noel Edmonds. It was more of a modern version. It was the guy that does the old grey whistle test now. I think it is with the funny hair going up like that. He's a Radio 1 DJ now, and he was a nothing then. I can't even remember his name. Anyway, that's enough of me. There's more about you. So you come on. The topic is nice immigrants or anything you want to talk about.
Well, first of all, you probably know me as Fit Over 50. No excuses. I changed my name to Darren.
I recognise you. I've seen some of your vlogs.
Yeah, still doing them. Loving them. Love watching your show and getting some information. Obviously, I follow Lee as well and Daniel. But yeah, I lived in Tenerife myself in the 90s, and we were kind of, I'll say, frowned upon by the police back then. So my question is, how is it now? Do the police accept immigrants now?
Do the police accept immigrants? It was frowned upon. What year was that? What decade was that?
That was the 90s that I lived
In the
there.
90s. Okay. I can only say my personal interaction with the police. One of the first ones was I stopped on a traffic stop, and when they found out that I could speak a little bit of Spanish, they relaxed a bit. So if they're speaking English, they, I think a lot of them don't like to speak English, so that is animosity as well. Although I have heard stories from Daniel last week when he said when the police stop you, you didn't say it online, but he was telling us afterwards that 3 motorcyclists, there was a Scottish guy, an English guy, and an Irish guy on motorcycles. It's not a joke.
I was just going to say,
it was them 3, and the English guy, he was sort of like, yeah, and then he came to the Irish guy and said, "Oh, Ireland! Oh, I love Ireland!" So there was a slightly different sort of thing there. But the second time was somebody stole something out of my garage, and I had to go and report it to the police. And they were very nice there. Again, I was speaking a bit of Spanish, so I have not had an interaction with the police where I don't speak their language. So that might.
There's also going to be a difference between the local police, who are probably all from the borough,
and the Guardia Civil,
and the national police, who could be from anywhere in Spain, and the Guardia Civil.
Okay.
And I believe, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that with the Guardia Civil, they quite often deliberately post you outside your region, so that there's no possibility of, I know your brother's sister-in-law's cousin, or,
Okay, right. Yeah.
So they're not going to be swayed by family
depends
ties.
on the person anyway.
It depends on the person anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the
depends on
day
you.
and your mood and
Yeah.
how the day goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in 21 years, I've never had a problem with, with being stopped by them once or twice for driving licenses or helping other people translate reporting of crimes. They found them
very helpful.
a bit cold sometimes, but never aggressive. And in the end, once they've realized that, a complaint is genuine, always helpful.
Okay.
So
So
I think
as I
if
say,
you smile, it might also help.
That helps a lot.
Except if you're wearing a mask, they can't see your smile,
But
Chris.
your eyes
It's true,
talk.
It's true.
got 3 women here. I just can't stop them chatting. So basically, it's probably not the same experience as somebody has that's here. And were you speaking? Can I ask? Were you speaking Spanish at the time?
I could get by. I couldn't have a conversation, but I could get by.
Can
I mean,
you say
I say
I'm
that.
innocent?
Can't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, he gets by. He says, "Yes." One of us forgot our earphones today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, who's that?
I have got a spare pair actually, but they're broken in one ear. So but
It's fine.
I can bring them. Okay. So yeah, no. So the police. It depends, I suppose. If you're out in Veronica's one night and you're glagging it down, and they come and they want to stop you, then obviously they're going to be a bit more aggressive than if you report a crime or something. And
if you don't have your papers,
if you don't have your papers on you, that's an issue.
I
Yeah.
remember talking with there was a Portuguese, 2 Spanish people I worked with, and we ended up having this huge discussion about papers. And they were kind of saying, "What do you mean you don't have an identity card in Ireland?" And I was going, "Well, we don't have an identity card." And neither of them could actually grasp the concept that the police in Ireland don't have an automatic right to just stop me and say, "Where are your papers?"
Yeah, yeah.
And because I don't have to have them with me, there is no obligation on me to have any form of identification on me in Ireland. Whereas here, you are obliged.
I think in the UK as well, there's no identity card.
But here, even if you are walking your dog, you should
You should have,
You
exactly.
should have.
And so they are allowed to get a little bit shirty with you if
Yeah.
you don't have your driving license and your passport and your residency papers.
Well, I think it boils down to attitude also.
and knowing the rules
like,
of the country you're going to live in.
Exactly.
The
Knowing
truth.
I'm going
about
to do
it.
this. There's 4 of us talking, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in
A true
Germany, I remember
story.
when I went to
Sorry.
Germany to au pair when I was 17, the first thing nearly on day 1, the parents took me down to the local Rathaus
Yeah.
to register as a resident for 3 months. And I was quite taken aback by this, but they're saying, no, you just have to register that you are living here for the next 3
Yeah.
months.
Well, you
You're
do
in our
that. You do
house.
in England, I think. You got to register with the police. So, Darren, that's probably a non-answer to your question, I'm afraid.
Well, no, I mean, I was going to say that I was actually, because I was an entertainer back then, I was actually on stage singing, and the Guardia Civil came into the bar,
Yeah.
and they asked my boss if I had papers. My
Mhm.
boss said no, and I was in the middle of a song, and they took me off the stage
Wow.
and said, "We
Wow.
need to see your papers tomorrow." So my boss at the time took me down to her lawyer. We had some
Mhm.
papers, like a work permit, signed
Yeah.
up, cost her £500, and
Yeah.
that's how I got to stay on the island. But yeah, they
Wow.
were that adamant that I was going to stop what I was doing, and
So you were pretty
Um,
lucky then.
yeah, I was really. But
I mean,
I think
it's a lot of people. I mean, it's well, I mean, what you've got to do, Darren, is turn it round, right? You're in London Docklands, right? And there's a big guy singing on stage, and he's an illegal immigrant. And the police come in and says, "Are you legal?" And he says, "No." And they grab him and want to check his papers. Same deal, really.
absolutely, yeah.
Same
Yeah.
deal, really. But we don't think of ourselves as illegal immigrants. I think that's the whole point. And as European citizens, we weren't. We were never illegal. We were always irregular. And there's a difference between an irregular immigrant and an illegal immigrant. And so the funny thing is that after not the January gone, last January when Britain left the EU, everybody became illegal instead of irregular that hadn't registered. But we gave them time, or they gave us time to register within the year. And there are still people today, I kid you not, there are still people today that have houses here, 2 cars, a dog, right? And they've not registered yet. And it's too late now. There's a lot of rigmarole to go through now to register as a third country national. So you're registering, you're in the same queue as the Russians, the Chinese, the Americans,
Exactly.
And so the
And the
rules
same-
haven't changed. It's just that the Brits have got to move to that queue now.
Because they decided to move to the queue.
They did, not all of them. I didn't.
The majority. That's referendums
Not the
are about
majority.
majorities.
Not the majority. We're not going to talk about Brexit. We're not going to talk about Brexit. I've got to do that. I've got now. We have good banter. We have good banter. I'm missing the comments, but sometimes we get comments about what we're saying, and I like it that there are 4 totally different, including Darren, totally different views on things, because that's where we learn.
Yeah.
That is where we learn.
Yeah.
But everybody's opinion is valid. It doesn't have to be right, but it is valid as an opinion.
And we learn
course.
acceptance.
We learn acceptance. So, Darren, you're still the star of the show now. Is there any other question, or is there any comment you want to make on that?
No, it's just good to be on. Good to be on your balcony banter. It's great.
Great. I mean, anytime you want to join us and be part of it, just let us know. And you don't even have to let us know. The button's there. Just come in and say hello, and tell me what you want to do. And everything. I can have up to 10 people on here. You know that?
Wow.
This is StreamYard. In fact, if you go to timothydow.com/live, right down the bottom of the page is a button where you can actually get your own version of this. It's a free trial. And when the free trial's finished, you can revert to the free version, which only allows you 1 guest, I think. And it's got a big duck in the corner. It's got their logo in the corner. But the free trial is the dog's by me, is it? Is the dog barking here?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about the dogs. Yeah, so if you want to go and do that, and if you use that link and you decide to pay for it, I get a kickback. So
There you go.
I'm not
Okay.
kidding you. I'm not kidding you. So
I think
so
I'm
anybody can come on. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think I need more subscribers to be able to do that, don't I?
You do need more subscribers to be able to go live on a mobile phone. But
Yeah.
you can go live from a laptop at any time.
Ah,
And-
okay.
And here is the clue. If you use StreamYard, they don't know you're on a mobile because you're going over their servers. So if you go to StreamYard, you can mobile today. You can stream live mobile today by using StreamYard. And there's a free version, as I said, that's free forever. You don't have to pay anything, but you can only have 1 guest. And so if you never have guests, that's great. But there is a big duck in the corner, the StreamYard logo. In fact, I'll put it on for you to show you what it looks
But
like.
the duck isn't your guest.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, it's trying to where are we? Overlays. Here we go. This is what it looks like.
Okay.
So it was something similar to that, yeah. Live with StreamYard, so you can't turn that off in the free version.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea.
So if you want to do your fit by, what is it, fit by 80? I think that's my next one.
Well, I stopped that purely because people just assumed that you had to be over 50 to watch my videos, and it wasn't the case. So that's why I changed back to my Tenerife stage name, Darren John.
Okay, so Darren John. So
Yeah.
what do you do on your channel? What's it about?
Well, it's more focused on London where I live, and I like to do my 5-mile walks every day anyway. So I thought, well, why not incorporate where I live in each vlog? So
Okay.
show a little bit of history. So that's what I tried to do in the last few videos. And that's
so when I was saying Isle of Dogs and you were saying it was Henry VIII, then that's part of the history lesson that you give if you go around there.
Absolutely. I mean,
cool.
The history is that because there was a lot of dogs making a noise, and Henry VIII being Henry VIII, he liked his quiet, so he put all the dogs on one island and called it the Isle of Dogs, and that is.
So Henry VIII. I'm just going to translate now for Clio because she's. I've got to do the sign language now. The Isle of Dogs in London was a load of dogs. The Henry VIII was fed up of dogs in the area, so he put them all on one island, called it the Isle of Dogs.
There you go, Canary Islands.
The Canary.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because Canary is canine, not
Exactly.
not the bird.
Gran
it's dogs.
Canaria.
Gran Canaria is about dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. So Canary Islands is nothing to do with a yellow bird. It's to do with. It comes from the word canine.
Canino.
Canina.
Yeah.
And it's the island of dogs. So
Isle of Dogs, from the Isle of Dogs to the Isle of Dogs.
yeah, from the Isle of Dogs to the Isle of Dogs.
We're
the dog islands.
Mm.
That's why they're barking all the time.
I'm telling you.
Oh, let
There
the
you go.
dogs out.
They're immigrant, but they're immigrant dogs.
Very good.
Cool, dude. So what is your channel called again? Darren John?
That's it.
And if I search for Darren John, spelt like that, DARRENJOHN, I'm going to get to your channel. And it used to be Fit Over 50, and now it's a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with the Darren John search, there's other guys with the same name.
Right. Well, send me your link, and I'll put it in the description of this video.
Okay, that's very kind of you.
No
Yeah.
problem. No problem. I mean, I think we're all in it to help each other. I mean, that's the whole point of this thing. It started with me with the cathartic exercise of just being in front of a camera, because I was a star in Germany, and when I moved to the Canary Islands, I was just my wife's carer, you know.
Yeah.
But I was a real star, you know. I worked for a company. I was like a top manager of a communication division in well, it's a spin-off of Siemens. So I was. In fact, if you call 49 for Germany, 941 202 4444, you hear me vote. I'll say, for English, press 9.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy.
You're
Yeah.
that guy. Do you ever do clocks?
I do clocks as well.
You do clocks?
Yeah, yeah.
What time is it, Tim?
It's late. It's late. Gotta get back in the movement. It's late.
Second late. Did you ever go home?
You need a home.
Curfew.
Darren, so send me your link. We're going to tell everybody. I'm actually going to look at one of your ones after this, and I'll give it a like. I did watch a few of your walk-arounds when it was the fitness thing, but I was ashamed that I wasn't doing it, so I stopped watching. But if you're doing other stuff in history, that's dead interesting. That's dead interesting. I have missed a load of comments here, so I'm probably going to miss it. If it's, we got slimming weight loss expert. Henry VIII was tired of wives as well. Where's the Isle of Wives? You know, there's a joke coming yet, but I'm not going to say it, okay?
Yeah.
You were there before me, right, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay. No. I apologize for that thought. It looks like we have no chance of spending summer in Tenerife. Devastated I am. That comes from Yoda. Oh, no, Jem Ross.
Yoda.
Devastated I am.
And I have no chance of seeing my family for another 12 months, probably.
Well, they probably are quite happy about that.
I mean, I think sometimes it is. When you live here, it's glorious and it's wonderful and we're in paradise. But I haven't seen my dad for 14 months and I really miss him.
I miss my
And it's
brother
going to
as
be
well.
another at least 6 months, I reckon.
I know. My
And I
brother
just
should have
hope
been
he
over
stays
at Christmas.
safe.
Couldn't
My
come.
dad's 86, so.
Yeah, I miss my daughter as well. My daughter, is she online? If you're online, comment now because I'm watching. Darren, you got anything else you want to say to the people, or you just want to hang around?
No, I'll let someone else come on. It's been a pleasure.
As I say, we get 10 people, so if somebody's coming on, you're not stopping anybody. So,
Okay.
if you want to hang around, we'll carry on with reading some of the comments if you like. Stay as long as you like, Darren.
Okay, that's very kind of you.
Makes it even anyway. Oh, we actually do have Yoda online. Yoda 101. Hi, Tim. Do you feel like your discussion on how to be a good immigrant is diluted by the fact that your entire participating panel is Caucasian? Actually, no, because we don't associate immigrants with colors of skin. So the immigrants we were talking about were like me and Clio and Juliane and Christina. So we're all immigrants on the table. So I think we have a good way. We did decide to do the immigrants from the Africa at the end because we didn't want this to turn into a slanging match of people. And so what we decided was that Cleo's she's actually doing a story. She's a journalist, obviously, a real one, not like me. And she's doing a story for RTE, the Irish television radio television air. Am I right?
Or Radio Television Heron.
Radio Television Heron. And
at least for the World Report.
Yeah,
program.
And so she's got some information on how they're coming in here, what's happening to them, how they get processed, where they're living now. In fact, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago they've built a new place up in Rices, yeah,
which is supposed to be awful.
Which is up in the mountains. That means they go, oh, they're on Tenerife, they're having the weather time. It's 8 degrees up there.
And the tents are leaking. You know.
Yeah. So Yoda, I understand where you're coming from, but that wasn't our
intention. Our intention wasn't to exclude anybody.
Our intention was not to exclude anybody.
And you think
I get my son-in-law on if you like. He's from Ghana.
In fact, I think what you wanted to do was actually make everyone realize that we are as much an immigrant as anybody else who was not born here or raised here.
Exactly. And shouldn't we all be more focused on actually building character than anything else? Building character, because we are immigrants, and we never know if we are going to be. Nobody really knows, because it might happen tomorrow.
David, I see you. I'll bring you on in a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year or so, that we might have to move somewhere else.
Well, my daughter is probably going to move next year to the UK, and she's going to be an immigrant.
We don't want her in the UK.
Well, there you go.
Spanish
she's an
people.
Immigrant, yeah.
She's gorgeous, though. Let her in. Let her in. She's gorgeous.
And she's Irish.
And she's Irish.
And Spanish.
She's Irish and Spanish. In fact, she comes from the Isle of
Canna
Dogs.
Irish.
Canna Irish.
Years ago, we called her Canna Irish.
Canna Irish. I'm going to let David on, unless Darren, have you got some emails coming in?
I'm just trying to go on my channel to send you the link.
Okay. Perfect. Let me just take you out then while you're having a look at that, and I'll bring David on. I'll bring you back in. Don't worry. So I'm just going to remove you from the. So you're going to be in the back office now. So you're in the back office. I'm going to bring David on. David, are you ready? This is David. I can see the top of his head. Can you hear me? Oh.
Can't see David.
Looks like he's got his
microphone
camera somewhere. Okay. I can. Oh, there we go. Oh, is he gonna? Oh. Let me see what you're showing me. Okay. Can you turn your phone sideways, David? There you go. So I'm going to add you to the stream now, and then you want you to say hello. If you don't say hello, I'm going to bring you back out. Okay. There you go, David. You put your phone sideways and say hello.
Hello.
I can hear you very faintly, David. How are you?
Okay.
How fast is your internet connection?
Everybody. No,
I can see your lips
no,
moving,
that's
David,
it.
but I can't actually hear you very much.
Okay.
It might be something to do with your upload speed of the internet, although your picture's very good.
Oh, no,
You keep freezing slightly, but that's
you
okay.
need
Cold.
that
It's cold.
again.
Thank you for joining us, David. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I think that you're not coming
Oh,
across as you should. Oh, it's getting better now. Sorry. Go ahead, David.
no, I'll read the back.
Do you have a question or something you want to say to the people? I'd like to thank you very much, Dave, for coming online. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to work. I'm going to take you to the back office now. If your connection gets better, I'll bring you back on. But thank you very much for joining in.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Darren's taking his camera offline, so he's not ready to come back. So we're all back. We're all back. So that was good. We got two different people. We like people coming on, and as you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's probably to do with the upload speed on the thing, you know. And the more people we get on, the more people can talk without Clio hearing.
Which is probably a good thing.
No. Thank you, David. That was David, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up for him for having a good try there. Okay, so I've got a problem now that my wine is coming.
Los Molinos to the rescue.
Los Molinos to the rescue. Oh, Christina's sneezing into her elbow there.
Do you know, if we can banter for a minute? Oh,
Sure.
Let's banter. No, I was just thinking about the whole thing about integration and coming here and language. One of the reasons I think I learned Spanish possibly more quickly, I spoke another language anyway. So I think that already helps. I spoke German fluently.
Mhm.
Well,
You do.
You do.
So my brain was already used to the fact that you could deal with two languages, and I think that's already a major step. That your brain goes, oh, okay, we can handle two languages. Now, for me, for instance, to go from English to Spanish is fine. I'm back again. Or from English to German is fine. But to go from Spanish to German is really difficult. But for some reason, that link is quite full of holes.
Yeah.
But I came here on my own. So I didn't come as part of a couple, which I think was an important plus for me.
It really is important. I would say the same.
Okay. And I also decided that I wasn't going to go to English language bars or English language restaurants. And my first job, because I just wanted to leave journalism for a couple of months. So I got a job in a local Spanish bar.
Okay.
The minute I got here. And I was only going to come for a year anyway. But within a couple of months, I was taking orders in Spanish and ordering stock in Spanish and kicking people out of the bar in Spanish. So that helped. But I was 39. I wasn't young. So the age thing, I don't think is hugely relevant. Because I know some people feel, oh, I can't learn.
I think it really has to do with what you said, like the incentive for something. Like, for instance, when I came here, I was at the beginning, I said I would only stay for half a year. So I didn't really think of learning Spanish.
Sure.
And I didn't speak a word. So so I got by with English and German.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I decided to stay for longer, I really thought, okay, well, maybe to get a better position or something, I should make the effort, and it was in fact like that. I got a better job
Of
position,
course you do.
and with more responsibility. So there you would have to make the effort to
Yeah.
integrate into something in order to provide a service to the company, or even for
And
my
it just makes your
for
life a lot more
for
fun.
myself, and also to communicate with the locals. Of course, it
Mm.
it really makes a difference. But I would also say that once your head is wired for another language, and the first language that you usually learn, it really impacts you somehow, and it gives a way and structure for
Exactly.
learning other languages.
It's like Tim said, your brain has already realized it can
Yeah.
be rewired.
Exactly.
So it just makes more adjustments.
But
And that's a physical thing. It's
Yeah.
the rewiring of the brain is a physical thing. It's just been proven.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I think, but also it's just so much more fun.
it is, and it also I think it's easier when you speak languages that you find it easier to be more empathetic as well,
Of course.
because of certain expressions that are in that language. You start to think about it more.
But I've always said this. Every language will have a certain set of words or words that just don't exist in another language.
Exactly, but when you only speak your language, you wouldn't necessarily think about it that much.
Yeah, my favorite
But,
for German is regelmäßig, which is
Regelmäßig.
very German. And it doesn't
Regelmäßig.
it doesn't exist in English because, in Ireland and the States, we're not like that. We're not so regelmäßig as German people are.
No,
But you
It's
can
always been my key word.
You can use the word regelmäßig as regular.
No, it's a lot more than regular. Regular means that your periods come every
but
28 days.
it makes a difference.
Regelmäßig.
It makes a difference how you pronounce it. Regelmäßig.
Yeah.
We have a
But-
question here, or actually a comment, which I want to bring in, because I want to include the people that are writing as well. Sharon Newton was saying the word immigrant is not a friendly sounding word. Maybe a different word should be used. And she follows up by saying immigration is a process, but maybe the person should be named differently.
Migrant, because they're not visitors.
I think that what Sharon's actually saying is that the word immigrant has become
Exactly.
a not very nice word
Among whom?
among people who don't like immigrants. Yeah.
So we're going to find a word.
No, I'm not saying that Sharon doesn't like it.
No, but I mean,
But it's the word has been has a connotation
I agree.
because it has been the immigrants. Oh, he's an immigrant.
But maybe
it was like the Islamist.
is that not part of what we're trying to say here? Is that, by the way, guys, we're immigrants.
That was the reason that we said
So
it.
we're not changing the word. We're changing the perception.
We're changing
Exactly.
the perception that
That's
immigration is not a bad word, and it's also what we are. And I like to think that we bring something to the country that we go to.
I think that we should try to, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And not only just take.
Or
So-
a disease.
Yeah, I think it's important to look at it, maybe giving even more than we actually take in any kind of situation, which sometimes is maybe difficult, because we are much more likely to wait for something, to receive something before we give something.
Yeah.
But
That's very
yeah, wouldn't it be better to put in
Yeah.
first and then receive?
Yeah.
So
Are we
yeah,
right?
I mean,
But I mean, I think Sharon, I know what Sharon's saying, and she's right.
yeah,
And I
it
think
has a
Negative.
label, but it's just a label, and the label can be changed. So I can put a different label on this bottle, and it becomes
Vodka, please.
something totally else.
I remember a couple of years ago, my sister, whose opinion I value very highly, asked me. I think I might have been talking to her or doing a report on a radio station, and I used the word expats.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, when you say expat, you mean white residents from Ireland or England, and mostly from England, don't you? And I think we've mentioned this on the podcast before. And yes, I did, because when people say expats, they don't. I mean, I know the original explanation of the word expats is the tea company in India, but nowadays people use the word expat to mean an expatriate from another country.
Right.
So there are a lot of African expats here,
Mhm.
and Israeli expats, and Irish expats, and I don't know, Ugandan expats and Ukrainian expats here. But people generally, when they use the word, they mean white British immigrants, and
Yeah.
immigrant is a word for anybody else.
Correct. But I mean, I think that's the same with a lot of things. Expats is a word that you give yourself, whereas immigrant is a word that is given to you by somebody else. Because if I emigrate,
Yeah,
I am going from my country to another country.
exactly.
Then I'm emigrating, and I don't like to think that I'm immigrating. Yeah.
Yes, you don't think of
And-
it as a positive verb.
Right. So it is the view from somebody else anyway.
True.
It is the
True.
view from somebody else anyway.
Yeah.
We got a couple of other things. What have we got here? David, who came on, and unfortunately the connection wasn't great, is David Thompson. He's actually watching on Facebook, so thank you for coming in on Facebook, David. He says he's the same in English. He's not good in English, but his Spanish was very good.
Oh, okay.
So thank you very much for that, David. And John Pollock says, can you translate this for me? Si, senor, there they go. 40 lorries in a row. De no lorries, they are trucks full of cows and geese and ducks. Thank you very much. I actually knew that one. It was really good. 40 lorries in a row. David is also saying, can I like we are human beings?
That's
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Very
Yeah.
true.
That is true.
You're absolutely right, David.
Okay. Oh, somebody's saying there's a bit of a feedback. I've actually turned down a little bit down so that our voices don't bleed through back to us. So if Darren wants to say something, he's got to shout, and then I'll turn him up. Are you okay, Darren?
Well, yeah, well,
There you go.
I actually went off earlier because I plugged in my earphones and it turned the camera off for some reason.
Oh, it turned the camera off. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I unplugged them again.
Okay. Have you got an Apple or an Android?
It's Android.
Or is it a laptop?
Well, I'm on a laptop here now, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll just keep your voice a little bit low so we don't bleed through backwards from you. But it's great. Stay on. David Thompson. Yeah, with the human beings, we got that. All clear here, says Tree Surgeon. Honeybee Louise says, yeah, Nick, we all got one. And somebody's shouting at me, Tim, sort out the interference. It's hurting my ears. I think I've just done that. Sorry about that, JJ. Reads from Leeds. Tina, we expect everyone to speak English. We do, actually.
Who's we?
The English people. We expect everyone to speak English. I think it's something that when I grew up, my dad brought me up to be non-partisan, non-racist, but there wasn't a word then for racism. In fact, no. In fact, then in them days, racist was different. It was a different word there. But he was saying we're all the same. He said we're all the same. That was the message he was trying to give. Even though he was saying from these people to these people, so he actually did his hand up like that as he was telling me that we're all the same. So it was inherent in him.
Was that more to do with class, or was it about race?
No, it was to do with race when we were talking, because I lived in Prestwich in North Manchester, and there was quite a lot of Jamaican people there, but not that many. So I didn't really get to integrate with them. There was no kids in my junior school that weren't Caucasian.
I mean, when I was growing up in Ireland, there were no other races.
No,
They're just we were still a poor immigrant country of immigrants.
they're just pale and very pale.
Well, people, I mean, like people left Ireland because they had to go elsewhere to look for work.
Exactly.
So we were the white immigrants. I mean, there's that famous line in The Commitments, where the guy's saying we were the blacks of Northern Europe. You know.
For those of you who don't know what The Commitments are, it's a very good film about some real.
A rock and roll band in Dublin.
Is it a rock and roll band?
Yeah.
I'll say jazz blues.
Jazz blues, with the fabulous Maria Doyle et al. Yeah.
When a man, I've got to put my thing in. I don't know what I'm saying.
Anyway, I mean, okay, I'm not trying to be racist here, but like again, I think we have all had, Juliane as well growing up in Germany and Christine growing up in Germany, we've all had very different experiences of what racism is growing up, I think. And I think we must acknowledge that too.
That's true.
That, our own experiences as
That's
children.
why, for example, this comment about human beings
So
and
true.
humanity, it's perfect because this is what we all ultimately are, and we should be able or learning to get more aware of looking beyond this actually layer of an identity that or that label that we put on ourselves or that we put on others. So looking beyond that label, that is I think something everyone should work on to get to get to common ground, and that's the future in my opinion.
A couple of years
can
ago,
be wrong.
I was asked, because I work for the council, there was a building and parts of the structure of the building were in danger. It was an apartment block. So I was asked, would I go and help, because there were a couple of British people living in some of the apartments, and they wanted me to go with the emergency services to tell these people they were going to have to move for a month. So we had to go from apartment to apartment, and with at least 3 couples, because they all seemed to be couples who were living there either for 7 or 8 months of the year or full time. And the first question was, do you understand that the building is in danger? Yes or no? And one of the very next questions was, have you got somebody that you could go and stay with if you need to move for a month? And sadly, very many people didn't have people that they could consider friends, even though they had lived here for 7, 8, or 9 years. They just knew people that they knew from the pub, which was an English pub, but they didn't know any of them well enough to go and stay with. They had no Spanish friends. They didn't speak any Spanish. And the television was on in most of the apartments, and it was tuned to some form of British television. And these are people who lived here for decades.
Yeah.
And I found that very sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
That they had no friends, it was like, and I know a lot of people do move here because of the sun, but when you do that, guys, if you move here because of the sun, the sun is 8 hours or 9 hours a day. There is so much more to living in Spain than the sunshine. The sunshine's wonderful.
It is.
But this island is, I don't know, 10% coast and 90% fascinating landscapes and villages and people and customs and habits and stories. The stories of the pirate, the stories of the mountains, the stories of the bananas and the tomatoes, and the people who came and went and left and came back. It is just, I love this place because of the stories and the history.
So where do you go to hear those stories? Because if I get an all-inclusive in Las Americas and I'm sat out at the bar...
Then you're on holidays. Then you're on holidays. But if you come to live here...
Okay.
I'm saying if you come to live here... one of the things with the focus group in Adeje... we...
Focus Adeje on Facebook.
So we're like an informal volunteer lobby group to help people who move to this borough integrate.
Cool.
So we organize tours and trips. We have done a tour of the kind of the historical architecture of Adeje.
So the Dorada Brewery.
That's in Santa Cruz, darling. Okay. But I mean, there's the old fort house where the Marqués de Ponte used to live. There's stories of the agreements they have with a famous British pirate. Where we're blind.
He had a very famous magazine in Germany.
Right, which was called
Ponte.
But you could make films about this place and star. Well, you wouldn't star Johnny Depp nowadays, would you? Well, maybe you would. I don't know.
I would star Johnny Depp, and none of the gyms will get this. Or irgendwelche andere Depp.
Everybody's darling. Everybody's Depp.
Depp is the German word for idiot.
Okay,
and, so and irgendjemand andere. It says my name's Johnny Depp or some other
idiot. Well, he's not eating though.
No. I'm not jealous. In fact, I'm the same age as Hugh Grant. I am the same age as Hugh Grant.
Well, he's got more wrinkles than you.
Your voice is much sexier than Hugh Grant.
Voice is
and he doesn't have lederhosen, Timmy baby.
I don't. Tell me she's...
Anyway, I'll shut up. But I mean, there's just so much.
Well, we're an hour anyway, so we're finished now. Anyway, but Darren, I'm going to bring you on, and then I'm going to bring Ian 1 on. So it's not Cam 1 now, it's Ian 1. So I'm going to swip over to Darren John now, just to ask for his final thoughts and how he liked it. So let's put him up big there. Just before I could bring you on, Tina was just saying, I always like to learn a bit of the language in the country I'm visiting, but I haven't learned enough for a conversation.
Yet.
Yet. Okay, Darren John. So you're live on Balcony Banter, and we've come up to the end of our hour. I'm bringing Ian on in a minute just to say hello and goodbye. But what's your thoughts? Did you like the experience?
I did, yes. Very bit nerve-wracking because you think, okay, I'll just say my couple of minutes and then I'll leave. But to be here throughout was quite an experience. But you guys are great. It's just so informative every time I watch you. So to be a part of that.
So informative.
Good.
Thank you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. So
Yeah, because you forgot.
I'll bathe in the smiles of the others.
Okay.
And next time you come on, maybe if you could plug your earphones in before you come on, and maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Maybe
I'm sorry for
it's
you
plug
guys
it
that
in.
have had feedback.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, because basically I have a faulty towers moment on every.
Well, you're going to get your balcony reinforced, I think, Tim. The amount of equipment.
We're going to have to, yeah. There's enough for people on it. Darren John, I'm going to thank you very much for joining in. You're welcome any time. And if you have anything you want to talk about, if you have a subject to promote or anything, then go to my website, and there's a button right on the front page that says questions for Wednesday. And we did have one today, but it wasn't relevant for this, and I answered it in a private message, so that was okay. And so I'd like to thank you. You can hang around, but I'm going to bring Ian on now, okay?
Okay, I've left my link in the private message for you.
Okay, cool. And I'll put the link in the description as soon as we're finished. Well, maybe an hour later, if that's okay. Okay, Ian.
Hello.
Bang. We got 5.
Hi,
we got
Ian.
5 people online.
Hi, Ian.
I want to see what this looks like with 5 people.
Wow.
That's
Look
not
at
bad,
that.
actually.
Hi,
That's
everybody
not bad.
on the table.
Hi,
sorry,
Ian.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Round the table.
Okay.
I meant round the table, not on the table.
Around the table. Just 1 second, Ian. Darren, Darren, there's a button on the front that says mic, and just mute yourself.
Okay.
And if you want to speak, then just press it again. Okay? Perfect. Okay, Ian. Let me have a look what this looks like. Well, that's too small, isn't it? No, I'll do it like this, and I'll stick you right in the middle there. There you go.
Hi.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
This is Ian Miller. Ian, let me just tell you a little bit about Ian. I met Ian online. No, I met Ian online, and he came in and he gave me some feedback about my website and about the show in general. And so I've been using him as a sounding board for the past 2 months at least, right?
Yeah.
And he's helped me to redesign my website, and with the feedback that he's given, and he's come up with some great ideas. Some of them I have implemented, and some of them I haven't yet implemented. Some of them I will not implement, but he knows that. But he knows that he's got a lovely wife that I don't want to mention her name unless she says it's okay.
It's okay. The door's closed.
The door's closed, Barbara, and. She says, "Are you talking to that guy in Tenerife again? You're up in the bedroom talking to the guy in Tenerife again." So I don't know whether she likes me or not. Does she? Does she like me?
Yes.
Ian? Oh,
Yes.
I like being liked.
It was her idea to do.
Oh,
good.
Oh, Ian is sweet.
And I keep telling everybody around the table but you got to look in the camera. That's it. You got to look. I know it's hard.
Don't worry, Ian. I make the same mistake.
We all do.
No, it is very difficult. It's easier to do that than do that.
It is. You got to look. What you have to do, you have to pretend there's something behind that little dot right there.
Yep.
And you got to look at it. And there are actually 200 people behind that little dot.
200.
200
Oh
people.
my God.
Including Barbara.
Did you get the message in the chat? We've reached
I didn't.
1 million jabs tonight in Scotland.
In the UK?
In Scotland.
In Scotland, 1 million jabs.
Yep.
That guy must be full of holes by now.
Exactly. And they've run out of needles.
Cool. Well done to Scotland. 1 million jabs.
Brilliant.
Do you know what our rate is?
Sorry, we're not talking about the rugby then, no?
We're not.
No. Come on, Clio.
Not that I can know.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a sportsman, as you can probably tell.
No.
You're a belly dancer.
I am a belly dancer. You're right. Yeah. Uh-oh. Robert Cowie says, you met Ian online. Sounds like you've been on Tinder.
We're like Grindr, isn't it?
Well, I was just about to say. You're going to be demonetized now for that word. Sue Long is saying I might soon have to alternate between the Tenerife vlogs and the Lamb Cam, which I watch every year. I love it.
Lamb Cam. That sounds fascinating.
It is. And Elaine Brown says, do you think it might be because Andrew's best, most interesting channel? Oh. And Raymond says, very bad feedback echo with the voice of the other person. Yeah, we had a problem with that, but Darren's got a problem with his earphones, but I've took it off now. Picture now 1901. Oh, maybe we got a bad connection. Sorry about that, Ray.
Hello.
Nick says, love your channel, Tim. We'll always watch you, but can't wait for the MacMaster's return. You know, I'm just keeping the seat warm, guys. I'm just keeping the seat warm for the MacMaster. He is a professional. He does it for a living. We're all just amateurs. Well, I'm not saying we're amateurs. I mean, Juliane and Clio are not amateurs, obviously. But I'm just an amateur.
But I'm a bad amateur.
You're the perfect amateur.
Don't say
Can't get a
that,
word in edgeways
Christine.
that you
Don't
never
say
tell us
that.
all evening. And she's nursing one glass of wine. That means there's more for me. And I bought 2 bottles because I knew that Juliane was going to have a glass.
So I can bring my bottle back home then.
Yeah. For the house, you said?
I did. And it's the Vesperil Reserva that we all like.
Ooh.
Well, we'll open that one then next. Are you going to stay for a while?
I've got to choose
She's got-
I made food.
But I made food. I did my habichuelas con arroz,
Ay, qué bueno.
which is Brianna's
Qué
favorite. That's black
buena.
beans and rice, guys. Cuban dish.
Cuban dish. There you go.
Sounds yummy.
I'll make it for you guys one time.
You will know. You won't get a word in edgeways with these lot, Ian.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I was going to ask Clio for some more stories, actually.
Okay, she can't hear you, unfortunately, because she's forgotten her earphones.
What?
But if you tell me what... if you tell me
no.
I'm not going to give you these because they're all sweaty now.
Just tell me what Ian's saying.
Just tell me what Ian's saying. She can see you,
I can.
but she can't hear you. Get your lips really close to the microphone.
Put your lips a little closer to the microphone.
Get your lips a little closer to the phone.
I was going to ask her for any more funny stories.
Funny stories. Have you got any funny stories?
What? But this is a family channel.
It's a family channel. You know,
It's not my
when she
forte.
starts, we can't stop her, so don't start.
You're not going to top me, are you?
No, we're not going to top you, but we're going to stop you. So basically, we're actually up with the hour now. So, and we don't. I mean, we could go on for 2 hours. I could go and I could grab this and take you somewhere and show you everything. But we do things slightly different on this channel. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. I know that somebody else is probably streaming right now, and you got to decide which one you're going to watch. So I'm going to let you all go. I'm going to thank Darren. I'm going to bring him back. Well, he's back on, actually. But I'm going to bring him back up. If you can unmute yourself just to say goodbye, Darren.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks
for having me on.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no
Darren.
problem. Anytime. And I'm going to thank Ian.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Are you in or out on Freaky Friday?
We're not sure yet. No, we are sure. We
Yeah.
actually, in actual facts, for those of you who've stayed this long, we are actually in the Sunset Club the Roca Negra Sunset Club in Playa Paraíso behind us.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And because it's Sahar's favorite restaurant, I've invited Sahar and Daniel from the Crackmaster to come with us. So there's 4 of us. And an open invitation to you two as well, if you want to come on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's Freaky Friday, and it's at the Roca Negra Sunset Club, and 5:55, sun going down over La Gomera, lots of beautiful people, and a big fat Englishman.
A belly dancer.
Belly
Well,
dancer.
belly dancer.
It's Timmy,
We'll,
baby.
we'll just make it a normal Freaky
And his
Friday then.
acolytes.
A normal Friday. You can come
I
on.
won't. I won't take anything out of the hat this week.
You can come on, man. Anytime. So Juliane and Christina just shoved something in the mouth, so I've decided to make them big so they can chew online. So Christina,
No,
what?
I'm gonna
You got to choke.
choke.
Okay. Well, the reason I did that is because I want you to watch her pour my next glass of wine. There you go.
Oh, look. Oh,
There we go.
that's
It's
enough.
Wednesday. It's Wednesdays. Thank you very much.
It's allowed. And it's calorie free.
And it's calorie free, yeah. It's calorie free. And we're going to put, because Clio was behind my logo.
I'm always behind your logo, Tim. Am I? No,
No, you're not. You're not always behind it.
I'm behind something.
Actually, Clio's got the best picture here because it's in the perfect position. It's my iPhone 11. It's the best camera.
Thank you, Tim.
And
Thank
you look gorgeous.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You're very well.
Frame this moment, keep it, and remember
you-
me like this.
Give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs up.
A thumbs up, yeah. And I like to thank Clio's very well. I mean, when Clio first started coming to it, it was a competition between us, I think, about who could talk the most rubbish.
I won.
Until I found out that everything Clio says is 100% correct.
No.
Not always, yeah.
Usually,
No,
I'd
but-
like to think maybe 80% well researched.
But I really
never
do.
100% correct.
I really do like all the different facets that we have on
Yes.
Balcony Banter, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And I know you got to go, guys. So I'm just going to play us out with Vamos a la Playa. I'm going to go to the big screen now. I think I can do it this way, where everybody's on screen. I'm going to cue up the music.
Very good.
And I've only got to say, Darren, for this portion, if you could just mute yourself again, otherwise you'll get the music twice. Are we ready, guys and gals?
We're ready.
Oh,
Look in the
ready for
camera and start the dance. Come on, everybody, dance.
Or drinks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Down for Live with MS in Tenerife. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that little bell for notifications for when we upload new videos. Don't forget to go to julianenendel.com or go in the link in the description to her channel. I know lots of people have subscribed, but we need more subscribers on Juliane's channel. Don't forget to go to your favorite podcast and put in Canary Cast. And if you see Clio O'Flynn, that's the right one. And don't forget to go to Christina's website, lwmst.com, where she's there doing a wheelchair belly dance. And you can go to timothydown.com/live and /live and find out how to come on like Darren and Ian did. We'd like to thank Darren and Ian once more for being great guests, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm not out yet.